We'll see now Beit Hashem is bar daf beis Ahmed Aleph Mesechtes Pesachim. Zog the Gemara. Tana Reb Gamliel Reb Inya Kim Rabbanan. Nida Shem Efsekes Kol Shiva Chafefes Usirekes. The reason why Nida needs to do, why does she need to do Chafifa? The answer is because she's 7 days she doesn't go to the mikveh. That's why she needs Kol Shiva. However, Kehenes Shehi Kehenes that Teveles B'Kol Yoim in Chafefes and Usirekes. Yes, the Gemara says here that Anida, since she only does it once in 7 days, Chafavas is Rekas. Can she develops Chol Yoim, any Chafavas and is Rekas. So, the Gemara here, it's not so clear what he's trying to say, but I think that the Gemara is trying to say here that why are you telling me that why you the loy tachlik? That's why you say that a kehenas that's a nida has to do sarika. It's not because of Shlei Tachlik. It's partially because she didn't do it for 7 days. That's why. So why are you bringing me a rye from here? That you make such a svar of Loi Plug. No, here it's Meikar Adin because since she didn't do it for 7 days, she's the same reason, just like Yisrael. Why do you have to strike? Because 7 days the hair gets tied up. Amalei, the Shemas, Kinayim, Kineged Yom Netzracha. This svar Shlei Tachlik is only necessary by Shemeres Yom. Let's say Kehenes is not a real nida. She just saw dam during the 11 days. You know, the din of Shemeres Yom. She has to wait 1 day. Next day, she goes to mikveh. So, such a case, she should not have to do srika because she's be'etzem. It's only 1 day. Every day she does srika because she's a Kehenes, right? So here, the only reason is Shlei Tachlik. Since Yisraelis needs to do it, because Yisraelis doesn't do Srika so often, so she needs to do also. So the only time when you need to use the Svar Shlei Tachlik is only in the case of a Shemeres Yoim. That's where we need the Svara, that Be'etzem Kehenes should have been without Srika. It's only 1 day, but after became Otto Yisraelis, we say she has to do Srika. Just like Yisraelis has to do, because Yisraelis doesn't do it every single day, because doesn't eat Truma. So we say a Kehenes shouldn't be different than Israelis. Okay. Chayre Abayis means shelves. The upper ones and the lower ones are Yitzia. Yitzia is a very small room that's next to the house. Vachodes. That's a boy that in the house you store things there. Valia, that's an attic. Gaga Bad, Gaga Migdal, the roof of a house that you press oil, and of a roof of a migdal. It's also like a closet or something that you store stuff, a shed. Beis Atev, Beis Abakar, Beis Eitzim, Beis Oitrus, Oitrus Yan Hashem, Enetzich Medika. All these things don't need Medika. This chametz is not, you don't bring in chametz in these places. Zog the Gemara. Nicha al yoin. Now he's asking a question. Nicha al yoin. Vatachtain? What's the question? You're going out on the chayra. Chayra Abayis, that's the shelves. So asking a question, Enchanam, that people don't put directly chametz in the tachtoinim. However, there's a din that's called gilgul. Gilgul means like this: somebody put it on the floor and it rolled. Hado amra nechashu lenefila. To arrive from this, you're not choishish for gilgul. Rabbi Yasa tipos shoyish name smuchen bekoistel. Echel l'mayla masora v'echel l'mata meyud. No. It doesn't mean it was touching the floor. Both are actually in the wall. Just the Maila Masara and Mata Masara. That means the Yonim Tachtoinim. Some is higher than the reach of a person, and one is lower than the reach of a person. But if it's mamish touching the floor, then enichanama, then it's a different problem, because some chametz that might be on the floor and just rolled over. That's called chashash nefila. It means rolling over. So there is an issue. But if it's a yoinam, tachtoinam, meaning to say it's lamaylam asara, lamatam asara, that doesn't need bedike, because people I'm not sure. Yoinim means the malma. Asara means that yoinim already is. The malma asara. So what's exactly asara? That's only that is within the reach of people. Could be that asara means lav dafka, means the malma asara means higher up and lower, because obviously the Bryce is telling us only al yoinim tachtoinim, but the ones that are emtsoyim do need bedika. So he's just using yud as an example, but doesn't mean exactly 10. It means whatever is within the reach of a person, that's called exactly yud. It's a shear where a person can stretch out his hands. But the nina chodes. Why does a chodes need bedika? Why is it potter from bedika? Maybe something rolled into the boyer. It's and kids don't go around there, so the feeling means that a kid rolled it over there. Usually kids do that. They take chametz and they push it. Okay, you say the kid didn't do it. Maybe some adult did it, or some people pushed it without intention. Without intention, a kid is not going to go intentionally because he's scared to go, but maybe unintentionally he gave it a push and it started rolling all over. Oh, so the first question was general. Why is the chodesh part from Medika? Why? Maybe a kid threw in there. So he says that's not a chashash, but maybe there's a chashash of nefila. My answers to base b'chodesh yesh lo lisbus. A certain boiler that has a frame that it cannot go directly. It comes up a ledge that doesn't let anything roll in directly. Now we get to Gag Habad v'Gag Hamigdal. Ado the time of Gavain Gimel Tfachim. Any Gavain Gimel Tfachim Ka'aretzim. It's a very interesting type of roof that's not tall 3 Tfachim. It says it has to be at least 3 Tfachim tall. Some kind of tiny chest or something. If it's less than 3 Tfachim, then for sure you have to, maybe it's just like in the ground, you have to check for chametz. If you use the gag for chametz, you used to store their stuff, then I feel like it counts already, because you actually use that. You put sometimes cookies or crumbs there by the on the gag. It's like huge baskets that made out of paper. I feel like means for sure. I don't care how tall it is. You used to use these baskets from paper to put in bread and cookies. So for sure it needs bedika. Tony, a bed that's in the middle of the house. There's a huge bed that it divides the house into 2 places. That's how they used to have. They used to have a kitchen and then a big bed. That bed was meant to divide the inner part of the house, the outer part. And even to make it more like it should be a stickle wall, they used to store woods and stones underneath. Like this, you couldn't go so easy from one side to the next. So people used to eat in the outer part, that's the kitchen, and then anything in the inner part after the bed, people didn't use for food. So you don't have to buy the tzad pnim. If there's no stones and eitzim, then you do have to make bedika for tzad pnim. We see from that what's going to happen. People eat bread in the kitchen, and people are going to roll, they're going to kick it. The crumbs are going to come all over to the other side of the house. So we see from this, nefila. Nefila means here rolling. And the Gemara answers no. No, it's not because rolling by itself or by mistake, by accident. If there's no stones and woods, then maybe a child just simply crawled underneath the bed and he had a piece of cookie in his hand and he's jumping. Droga means jumping. A kid jumping around and he decided to a piece of that cookie. He's going to finish eating it on the other side of the house, on the inner part, and he's going to leave it over there. So for sure you have to make bedika, not because of gilgul, because of a person that brought there intentionally. Who is that person? The kid, Tinnik. Tinnik is a child that he has no problem of schlepping around the chametz to any part of the house, and he has a way to get there because there's no eitzim avanim, and that's why you have to make bedika if there's no eitzim avanim. That's pshat in a pshim gamliel, and it can't be poshet that you choishish le nefila. That means le gilgul. Okay, this is the end of the Beis Amud.